Do not put on a mask that is acceptable by the society. Let it show. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people around you don't feel insecure. You're going to benefit more from the tree and the fruits than just with that seed. Do you see what I'm saying? Hi everyone! Welcome to this channel, Merhu's Insights. I am your host Merhu. Welcome. I hope everything is going well for you. This channel is for everybody who wants to learn more about themselves, who wants to develop more, and who wants to work on themselves, and especially for those of you who have already started the journey to know yourselves better, who have started meditating, or who have started to ask questions. Why does the society work this way? For those of you who feels like there is something wrong, there is something that needs to be changed for a better world, for a better society, for a better development, this is for you, the outcast. No, I'm kidding. You are not an outcast. You are just unique. So this episode is going to focus mainly on being courageous to be yourself. Be courageous to be that person, that you. Be that. Be courageous to be that. Be courageous to show that. Don't be afraid to show who you really are. To speak out your opinions if they're unpopular, and if it's something that does not fit in with the people around you. Don't be afraid to speak up. It's okay. Don't be afraid to be weird. Don't be afraid to be weird. So, I am going to start with, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. What does it mean? It is our light that most frightens us. Means, so we're not really afraid of the negative side of ourselves. We're more afraid to make the jump to be better, because our brain does not know, it doesn't know how to predict. It cannot predict what it hasn't been before. In a situation that hasn't been before, it's hard to predict for our brain, so it tries to avoid that, even though we theoretically we know that is good, to be a good influence to other people. But since we haven't took any action, our brain it cannot predict the outcome. And so because of that, keeps you in your safe zone, where it's safe. It keeps you here where it's safe, where it can predict, where it has been before. So that, to make that jump, you need courage. So courage is not something you do just one time in your life. It's not something you do 5 times in your life. It's something you do every day. That's pushing your own limit. You push your own limit. I'm not saying, hey, just go wild just to be courageous. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you have something to share with people, if you think that something you have to say is going to help people somehow, don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to open up. That's what I meant by be courageous. And if you take a look at the energy levels of courage is at 200, and fear is at 100. It runs when someone is afraid, when when someone is experiencing the emotion of fear, they run at 100 level. There is a number, if you're familiar with that. There are whenever we feel some sort of emotions, our energy level runs. It's the vibration, the energy vibration. It has numbers. So love and awareness and enlightenment are higher. They're around 500, 600. But fear is at 100. And courage is double of that. That's 200. So when you make a jump from fear, when you're doing something courageous, when you do something that makes you leave your comfort zone, you're doubling your vibration. You're doubling that. All right. So we will talk more about the energy levels if you want to. It's very interesting. It's extremely interesting to me because when you put numbers on it, usually I'm not a number person. I don't do numbers, but this is like 50, 25, and 100 and 200. It's easy. And also, it's very interesting to know when you feel something, when you're experiencing some sort of emotion, you know what vibration, what the exact number of vibration that you're vibrating at, because all living beings has their own vibration. So one of my favorite people, one of my favorite human beings in this entire world is Mel Robbins. Even though I've never met her in person, I love her so much. One of her quotes is, confidence is the willingness to try. Confidence is the willingness to try. So you don't really have to know the outcome, the end result of something that you're trying to achieve. The confidence is the willingness to try. So you have to try first to see if the outcome is going to be in your favor or if it's not going to be in your favor. Don't focus on that. What you should focus on is to be willing to try it. That's confidence. That is confidence. So when you say, no, you know what? It doesn't even need more explanation. Just know that. Yeah, so when you know something, don't be afraid to share it to other people. And if they don't respond the way you expect them to respond, it's okay. It's okay. Don't get discouraged if they don't respond right away to the things that you're trying to show them, or to the thing that you're trying to tell them. If they don't respond to that right away, it's okay. Let them take their time. Okay? What you have to focus on is on you and your goal and your efforts. Don't get discouraged if you're getting negative feedback or if you're being ignored. That's okay. That's not your job. That's not something that you can control or you have to control or something that you have to panic about. No. Just focus on what you can do at that moment. Just like I said, confidence is the willingness to try. And also, if at some level you're a little bit more conscious about things than other people, let them know what you're conscious about. You don't have to go and, hey, I know more about this thing that you do. That's ego. That's not how you go about it. For example, the way you share your consciousness, or one of the ways that you can share your awareness, is by being yourself, the genuine self. Do not try to hide that. Do not try to fit in. Do not put on a mask that is acceptable by the society. Let it show. Let it show. Yes, that's the main way of sharing your awareness with other people. Because I read somewhere that says there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people around you don't feel insecure. What does that mean? It means that you don't have to try to come down to their level. That way people don't neglect you or don't isolate you. No, be that genuine self. Be that aware self. By doing that, what do you gain? By doing that, you unconsciously allow other people to turn on their lights too. So it actually goes like, as we are liberated from our fear, as we, like I said, the fear, that emotion, as we are liberated from, as we free ourselves from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So you don't really have to try to do amazing, huge things to try and liberate and free other people. Just be present as your own genuine self. And that is going to allow other people to liberate themselves. Oh, they'll be like, oh, I guess it's okay to be myself then. Because you never know how many people there are trying to fit in the status quo. You know, this is the age. This is actually a privilege age that we live in, that you can be whoever you want and it's okay. So find that real self, find who you really are, and be that. Find who, this is actually mine, I've never heard anybody saying this, but find who you really are, because this takes work. To find who you really are, that's gonna take a lot of work. And another thing that I found very interesting, a saying that goes like, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So it's kind of similar with the idea that I talked about a little earlier. So what is that? What this means is, when we are confident enough to be ourselves, we give permission to other people to be themselves too. So they don't feel like they have to fit in. They don't feel like, hey, I don't want to be that weird person who does these things when the other people around me are not doing it. So give them permission. When you become confident enough to show your real self, it's not just for other people benefit. It benefits you too. How? Because it's like, let's take a seed. There's one seed, and then if you keep that seed to yourself, if you just keep it hidden, it's always going to be just one seed. But if you take that seed, if you are confident enough, you put in an intention, we'll talk about intentions. If you can, just look for a book that says The Power of Intention. It will let you know everything you need to know about an intent and how that works. So you put in that intention, that positive intention, that non-egoic intention in that one seed, and then you plant it. You plant it in the ground, and then you water it. That's the effort. And then you are patient with it. You don't just go the next day and you try to, oh my God, it's not fruitful yet. No. That's not how it works. Give it time. You gotta give it time. And then, but there is an intention in there. It's gonna grow. It's just gonna need time, and it's gonna need your care and effort to water it, and then it comes out. When it comes out of the ground, it's not going to be just one seed. It's going to become a tree. When you planted, there was no tree. It was a small seed. But that big tree, that lots of fruits and all those branches, that's the intention in the seed. So when you plant it, it comes out as a tree, and then with the fruits, if it's apples, it's gonna have a lot of apples in there. So when you plant it with that intention, with that positive intention, the not egoic intention, you plant it and then it comes out of the ground. All the tree structure and the branches and the fruit, it comes out like hundreds and thousands more than just that one seed. So a lot of other people are going to benefit from that, but it's not just the other people that's going to benefit from that. You are going to benefit from that too. You're going to benefit more from the tree and the fruits than just with that seed. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to conclude with one of my favorite people, Miles Monroe. Rest in peace. Thank you for all the books he wrote for us. Miles Monroe. He said, "Don't die old, die empty." Don't die old, die empty. Meaning, of course, old people die. When we get old, we die. That's the natural process. But what he meant by don't die old, die empty is in all of us, we have potentials. We've got this big potentials that's unique to each of us. So if we keep that seed inside of us and we get old without planting it, without letting other people benefit from that, without letting it grow, and then we die. We're not empty. We died with our seed. We die with our potentials. Do you see what I mean? So that's what Miles Monroe was trying to tell us, is that if you feel like you have something to share with other people, let it out. Let it out. Empty yourself. So don't become a graveyard to your own potential. Don't keep it. Let it grow. Let it out. Let it show to other people. Let it come out to the world. As long as it's a positive impact. It doesn't have to be a big one, like everybody in the world sees it. No, if you can make that positive impact around you, to the people around you, that is still a positive impact. You're still emptying yourself. And then the more you share with people, and then the more other people benefit from that, and you keep growing. But if you keep it where it is right now, it's not gonna go anywhere. You cannot see any potential in there if you keep to fit in with other people. If you let fear control you, it won't grow. Let it grow. Don't let fear keep you. Shrink. Courage. Make the jump. Yeah, so every time you feel like, oh, I don't want to, it feels good to be inside that comfort zone. So for me, it felt good once I started meditating and worked on myself. And I'm not saying that I'm all done with myself, no, but I was gone from all social media for 2 years, and then it felt good, but the time came for me to start feeling like I have the responsibility to share this awareness, and just the way I know. And then I had to make that jump because I was in that comfort zone, you see. I was in the comfort zone of my privacy. But when the time came and I was so nervous to make videos because it did not feel safe. It did not feel safe to be out, to be seen by many people, to put myself out there. But I had to make that jump. I had to make that jump. Courage. Courage is expected of us if we want to grow. We have to take courage. So every time you feel like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel safe. I don't really want to do it. Do I really need to do this? No, I'll just keep doing what I've been doing for a few months now. So I'm not going to do that. That's fear. That's fear in disguise. Be aware of that. Be aware of that. All right, so for now, this will be it. We will talk more about other things, about developing ourselves or expanding. And yeah, come back next time. I will be here. And thank you for being here. If you think that this could be useful to other people, the friends you know, don't be afraid to share this and subscribe to become a family of this channel, Merhu's Insights. I appreciate you all for being here. Have a great day.